Seriously, what am I doing here in Ireland? An American? A traveler? Music student? Liberal artist? I don't know. There's a lot of music here. Maybe that's why I'm here. There is a college here. That could be why I'm here too. There's the whole like Irish heritage thing, but that doesn't really count for much here. You're an American, not so much an Irish American, which is fine. It makes kind of sense, you know, knowing Irish people. There's definitely cultural differences here, though. Culture shock hit me about a month into it. It was magic Disneyland. And then it was Ireland. I mean, I guess it's been Ireland the whole time. But there's just something kind of disquieting about being constantly a foreigner here. I can see why, back in the Silk Road, traders would make enclaves for themselves in foreign cities, even though I'm kind of sick of hanging out with Americans here. So maybe I don't want an enclave per se. I just miss that warm fuzziness, kind of feeling you get on a cold winter day when you're in a really comfortable chair with a warm, fuzzy blanket, cup of hot chocolate, a purry, fluffy cat curled up in your lap. That's right now how I visualize America. Ireland, not so fuzzy for me. It's probably pretty fuzzy for the Irish. This is where they came from. Now I can kind of empathize with my ancestors, having come over to a foreign land, and they never came back. Well, only in the form of me, I guess. I don't know. Weird. Things are still pretty good here. Things are still quite good here. It is, after all, Ireland. It's very different, but it's very excellent. Cork continues to unfold its wonders. And I have been more involved in my classes and my, various societies than I had been earlier. Like, there's an English Literature Society that meets Wednesday nights. I went there, and it was a lot of fun because there was just a bunch of people who were really into, like, literature and creative writing. It was like, I don't know, it was like being back in Delta or something. But I walk in and people are talking about, like, different versions of, like, Brothers Grimm fairy tales and like all these like various like structure and poetry, and people going around reading like a short story they had written and talking about it structurally. I don't know, it was really awesome, and I'm definitely going back. And inevitably, as with all Irish societies, we went to a pub afterwards, so that was nice. I've also been singing with two groups, the Clerks Choral being the primary, and that's the one where I dress up in the awesome medieval robes and sing in a 1,000-year-old church in Youghal, in the countryside. We do cool repertoire. We do like church music because it's for a church service. So there's a lot of things that maybe other people might know automatically that I don't know at all, and various other stuff that I guess I'll gradually absorb over the semester. But we sing some cool stuff. Benjamin Britten, I've discovered, is a badass. The other choral group is the Cantus Choralis, which performs mainly music before 1750, which is really cool because early music rocks. What's really cool about the Clerks Choral is that I get paid. I also got paid to sing at a wedding with some of these clerks before I even sang with, like, formally with, like, at the church. And it turned out to be fine. I was really kind of intimidated because, like, weddings are big deals, right? I mean, but no, it turned out to be a ton of fun. We sang some cool stuff, and I got money for singing. Bellissimo. But geez, like, I have an income now. I'm making money. It's been so hard. I've been starving. I mean, I've been having to write my textbooks myself and go dumpster diving, and oh jeez, it's been hard. It's been so hard having to scrape by, and I'm not actually going to spend it all on beer. Not all of it, anyway. Other exciting things in my life. I went to Edinburgh. I visited Ian. It was fantastic. I went with my fellow dude of Cork, Dan, who is a savage wielder of the camera. Edinburgh is a really cool city. It's like a really big, like, castle. There's just like these old stone buildings everywhere, and they're also very warm and kind of whimsical in a way. Like it's almost something you'd see in a fantasy city, but it was just so cool and so different from Cork. Very modern and urban and like cosmopolitan. It reminded me a lot of like London or Boston or Chicago, which are all very different cities, but I'm allowed to say these things because I can. And I got to see Ian, which was amazing. It was fantastic getting to hang out with my adventuring companion. Jeez, how wonderful. Got to reminisce about McAllister and talk about all things wonderful and exciting and new and old and boring and musical and not musical. And we climbed Arthur's Seat and sketched things and played tin whistles, and I met a girl from Harrisburg, and it was really wonderful. There's a video, you'll see it. And I also got to meet up with my cousin Becky there, which was really cool. I've been doing a lot of music, which is cool. I've been taking my electronic music class, is very excellent. My jazz class, wow, it's great. I'm studying with this really cool, like grizzled old Irish guitarist who studied with Pat Martino, and he gave us this kind of like exercise or advice with soloing, and that combined with the various things I'd been thinking about since my last jazz lesson, you know, like almost a year ago, a lot of things just converged together, and now I feel like I'm a legitimate jazz pianist, or more legitimate than I have been, because I can like solo and comp at the same time now. It's like all these things that have been percolating in the back of my head have now been processed and integrated, and I don't know, the jazz just flows. It's amazing. Just I mean, we were jamming, you know, everyone was just really solid, really into it, and it was just grooving, and yeah, it was grand. Sessions continue to be really cool, and the pub culture is also really cool. Irish culture, while different, is still excellent. One of my favorite pubs is An Spalpin Fonnach, which means the wandering farmhand in Irish.
5 cents, 25 cents.
So that kind of gives you an impression of what a session might be like if you were blind. Yeah, there's just really nothing like the pubs and the sessions. I mean, so spontaneous and so warm and good. I don't know. There's something really cool about that. So, melancholia and all, Ireland continues to be a good place to be. For those of you back in the States, enjoy that warm, fuzzy blanket of quietude, that hot chocolate of inner peace, that fuzzy cap of American goodness. For those of you, my fellow travelers, I toast a pint to in a warm and glowing pub full of music and life and wonder. I really don't have much else to say. I'll see you guys next time.